All right, I got my old carpet kit out, put it in the sun, get warmed up a little bit. I'm gonna do a dry fit and see how well it goes into the car. So I bought these, wow, 25, 27, 20 years ago, a very long time ago. Back when I first started working on this thing, I tore the interior out and was planning on painting the car and finishing it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, never got done. These, I can't remember what these are purchased. Some of you heard of Chevy Land here on the West Coast. And I believe that they didn't close the doors, but they changed names. I think they're called Super Muscle now. Anyway, so this is where I bought them from. I don't know back then what kind of brand names they had, but here's the original tag that was on there. So I'll have to look up on the look at my files, and I think there's the directions that came with these. But anyway, so these are preformed. You can tell, you can kind of see the place where the floors go, and then this already came with it. It's already attached, and you can right here you can kind of see where it's preformed. And then inside, I just did a quick vacuum out. And then I just got to make sure I just locate my holes for where the seat belts go. And I think that's kind of it for my car in terms of locations for holes. And then of course we got the hole there where the stick shift goes, and the 4 holes that the boot screws down to. So we got to make sure that when we get these things installed, we watch out for those nuts and for those bolt holes. And also I got to cut a hole for my for the brights switch, and then also holes for the plastic carpet molding that goes up there at the pedals. And that's kind of it. So I'm gonna do a dry fit and get this carpet in here and see how it goes. Forgot to show you the padding. So these are the paddings for it that come attached. So again, that's the rear seat, and here's the front. So it covers the floors, goes over the transmission area, and that's it. So those are only pads that come with it. And the sound deadening, of course, it's not original to the car. It's all got removed, and then I just have installed my own sound deadening material. Okay, got it in. It fit pretty good. You can glue these down. I mean, there's no reason to do a full-on glue the whole thing. But for me, it looks like you can tell it's a little lumpy here, and so I may get some glue here on the top of the firewall and probably down a little bit, and right in here in the corner to hold that down. And then some here, right here, and then and that's kind of it. There isn't really a whole lot to glue. You can glue a little bit, depends on how picky you want. So you can see it. So I need be able to tuck that in just a tad. But other than that, I think it fits pretty good. I have some cutting to do on that, so that comes down. And then once we do a final install, then we'll cut along the edge here. And then that's kind of for this one. Looks like it's just a dry fit. Let's get the driver's side. I mean the front. All right, just put in the front. These things are really easy to put in. You just flop them in, and I just kind of scoot it forward, and then just trying to figure out kind of where the molds are in the carpet and kind of where it fits best. Just as far as the front here into the driver's seat where the gas pedal is, then you just make sure that it goes in enough where your ankle can hit that plastic, and then just back far enough so you can bolt these in. The exact location forward or backwards, I'm not too sure. I watched a couple of videos myself on installing these. Most of them they just toss them in, no glue or anything, and that's kind of it. So I may be a little more picky, so I may put some glue on the along the tunnel here. That way when I go and push in other places to get my bolt holes, it's not shifting back and forth on me. It's just more of a convenience. That's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is, now that I know that it fits good, because it was such an old rug, I wasn't too sure if it was going to fit or not. So it looks like it does. It does a pretty good job. So now I'm going to go back and do a location for all my bolts. So I have to go my boxes and get all my bolts for the seats and for the seat belts, and then pinpoint those locations. The way you usually do that is you can put the bolts in the holes. So all the bolts you have, whether it's the center console or on your seat belts, you can screw all those bolts and screws in first, and then that way, once it's laid down, you can feel them where they are and do a little slice and a cut on where those bolts go, and then take it off, and then build the cover back, take the bolt out, and then also helps too. You want to, when you screw the bolt in or the screw, you're not catching any of the carpet, because this is a loop carpet. So when you screw something in, it's going to grab a thread, and it's just going to keep pulling those threads as you tighten it up. So you want to make sure you don't have any loose threads. So you can either do something, soldering iron of some sort, or something to melt the location where the hole is, or use it to make your hole. You can do that too as well. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to show you everything. Like I said, there's plenty of other videos here on installing these carpets, but just kind of the gist of what I'm going to be doing, and I'll keep moving forward. All right, so I just got the seat belt, the seat bolts in. And so then what I'm going to do is, so I've got about where it needs to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for the bolts here. So I'm going to, and then do a small incision, just enough so I can find out where the hole is. And then I think I have a soldering iron, an old one, in my shop here somewhere that I can use to make a better hole, in terms of nice and round and clean. That way it's not catching any threads. So I'll do that for both of these. And then I put some adhesive here on the top. And then once I get my hole locations, and then I'll put some adhesive on the side of the tunnel. I don't know, for me, I just want it nice and snug. And then once I got that done, the glue, and then what I'll do is I'll throw mold glue on the front, on the top here, and then get it fitted nice. Put my bolts in here to pinch it down as if the seat was in, and then start doing my other cuts. So I cut my edges, along the doors, for the back seat brackets, and that way I have it's set. That way when if I'm cutting here and then I'll crap, and then I push in and try to tuck it in, and then all of a sudden it separates. So I want to make sure that before you do any cutting, make sure it's exactly where you want it. And it has either, you can get some weights, or something in here to help hold it down where you want it, before you start making cuts. But however you wish to do it, this is what I'm doing. All right, so I got all my bolts in. So I just put them temporarily. So these are the front seats, and then I have one more bolt to put in on either side. Front seat right there on the other side. So I'll do that, and then I don't think I'm gonna glue here. I think it looks pretty good. It's a little bumpy here, but I think it'll lay out in there. And then so once I get these two bolts in, and then I will start cutting along these edges, and go from there. And then also don't forget your carpet guard. Okay, so that goes right up there. So we'll get that installed too as well. Well, all right. All right, so I got these last bolts in here. So I think it's snug it in really good. And I got my hole cut out for my shifter. And now I'll start working on the edges and get those cut and get it tucked underneath the kick panels, and get my hole cut for my my brights, and I think that's it. I'll keep moving. Oh, and the back here too. Gotta cut for that. All right, so I got the first front driver's side corner done. So what I did was I just cut your strips along here. I cut the carpet height, same height as this edge here. All right. So I basically put the carpet against it and folded it over, and then just cut along the line. If you're kind of questioning yourself, what you can do is you can do the same thing and then maybe fold it and then put some tape along that line, and then you can pull the carpet up closer to you and then cut it that way. But it seemed to do pretty good. It got tucked in there pretty good. And then still working on here. So that got in there like that. Okay. So our sill plate will come up, and I think it overlaps just a tad right here. And then same over here. I'll have to take a look. But that's, even if it butts up against it, it's not too bad. And then I'll cut that carpet up. So again, it's kind of, I got a screwdriver and just shoved it. Shoved it right in there, so a nice tight fit. Okay, so we want to do the same thing on the other side, and the side here, and then I'll get my sill plate so I know exactly where to cut and where it's going to cover up, and go from there. All right, so here are my sill plates. These are the originals. They've been beaten up over the years, kind of like right here. So that's from the seat belt laying on the sill plate, and you shutting your door. And this is the driver's side, so that gets most use, and that's how they get beaten up like that. But I polished them up. I think they're in pretty condition. So I'll show you. All right, so we got some decent layover on the edge here. So this cut here doesn't have to be perfect. So you've got about an inch, looks like, overlay of the sill plate with the kick panel. And then in terms of cutting it, the location, I'll probably cut it right along this panel, just right along that panel there. Let's see. All right, there we go. That's all cut. So I don't have my interior panel in here yet, so the way I cut it here was just enough to bypass this corner and make the curve. And that's it, and I left it until I get this panel, and I'm exactly sure how to cut this right here. And then for the sill, I'm not going to install this either because of this panel. I suppose I could just until I get off, then I have to take it back off again. But all right, that's how it would go. And then don't forget the holes for your screws, so you can probably just stick through your carpet. And that's it. So now I'm gonna do the other side. So tuck in that side, then cut at that side, and then cut that corner. And that's it. And then I also may wind up throwing some glue on here. I'll probably do that now because this was glued right here. So get that down nice and tight and glue it. All right, now I'm going to install the carpet guard. So there's two holes. One there, and then one right there. So if you pull the carpet back, and if you pull the firewall blanket back, okay. So there's. Okay, right there. So there's two holes. I don't know why there's two holes. So identical to the other side over here. right there, holes. All right, and then the screws, mine were rusted and toast, so I bought some new ones. And the new ones do have a little bit of that type of rubber seal of some sort on the thread, so that when you drill through the firewall, the seal is there at the firewall. So I've got these two here, and then it just pinches down over the carpet and screws in. All right, here we go. It was a little hard to get past the firewall, the blanket, the hole that's on the blanket wasn't in the right spot. Well, it's the right spot, it just wasn't positioned properly, so I had to put another hole and then try to go through the insulation in the firewall. So I used a screwdriver to poke through the firewall blanket and then kind of find the hole and then line this up. So, but anyway, there you go. That's it. And then oh, I got my ring for my dimmer switch. All right, installs a little bit different than I thought, so I'll figure it out. So the dimmers, the ring gets inset in the carpet the way it's made, and I didn't do that. So I'm gonna try to see if I can fish it on without having to take the carpet guard off. But if you're doing this, do this first, then the carpet guard. You can even do it even before you even install the carpet. You find your hole, then put this in and slip it over. So let's see if I can do it. All right, there you go. All right, sink that in. Okay, here you go. Well done. So when you install it, put that on before you tuck the carpet in and before the carpet got on. That wasn't too bad, but it still, I had to go back and do it. All right, and then I've got some glue that I'm waiting for dry, and then I'll show you the rest of the carpet. All right, I am done. That's one more hard thing done. So let's see here. These are not in all the way. They're just there so you can see, but you can see. You know, I didn't cut it perfectly straight. That's fine. It just gets covered up, so it doesn't really matter. And then this corner here, I need to install this panel here, so I may have to do a little more trimming and cutting as I install this interior panel here. So I got my bolts in, ready for the seats. Bolts ready for the seat belts. Got those in down there. This is bolts too. But and then I got that done. We're getting there, guys. Almost. This side. And then I'm gonna have to do a little bit of gluing up here, just tad loose, just underneath here, underneath the heater core. And then to flatten that area, you can see there, right there. So I need to work on that just a tad and push it forward, and then glue that front there. And then again, these aren't attached; they're just there. Okay. And that's it, man. Not bad for almost 28-year-old carpet. It's been in storage. So it turned out great. So, and then I glued these two sections down here on either side of the back seat bracket. And that's it, man. That is my carpet.